Alright, so I want to go through Heinrich Kley's second book that I have. I think it's by Dover. And then, because I went through the first one, and I thought I might as well just finish it up, and go through it. First off, that color and that drawing, just amazing. I wish all of his drawings could have had that red tint to it. But anyways, yeah. So Dover makes some amazing books. This is no different. I'm gonna try to get it all in one thing. Very simple. That looks just like a regular contour drawing. Nothing else going on. Look at that. His drawings were so full of life. And man, did he draw? I already said this, but he drew unbelievable horses. I know I go through comic book art, and fine art. Uh, it seems like there's more time put into fine art than comic book art, but that may, not always be the truth. If you have your rarities like your Bill Sienkiewicz and your Alex Rosses, but man, it looks. I mean, Heinrich Kley makes it look so simple. But it's not. It's not simple at all. I mean, man, look at that. Wow. Look at that drawing. Holy shit. Wow. I mean, look at the proportions. The proportions are off. But I mean, wow. Wow. I mean, when you look at this, when you look at Heinrich Kley's work, when I look at Heinrich Kley's work, there's a lot of wow going on, for sure, for sure. And then you get these drawings that look like they're simple, but they're not. I mean, how you have to be a master to be able to draw like that and not screw up. There was no pencil work going on here. Zero, at least to my knowledge. This was just, I'm taking a pen and a piece of paper and I'm going to town. I don't know if I like this book better than the first book, but there's some more, there's some interesting stuff going on here. And the storytelling in his work. Unbelievable. Are they going to put a lot of these ones that are like sideways? I mean, I'll turn it. I don't care. But look at that. Great vehicles. And then you get these very simple, sketchy drawings. No cross hatching or contour lines added. I mean, that shows that he picked up the pen and it all looked great. I love the way he drew. You could tell he's using cross contours to tell you that form is going that way. Unbelievable. Sorry, I say awesome and unbelievable a lot, but when you look at work like this, I mean, what else can you honestly say? Look at that. Man, look at that. Holy shit. His anatomy, his understanding of anatomy. See, I like this one because it's more figure drawings than animal drawings. I'll say that, and then the second half will be just animal drawings, which is fine by me. Still amazing to look at. But I'm a big fan of the figure. I like people who can draw the figure extremely well. And man, could Heinrich Kley draw the figure extremely well. And that drapery, you know. You take pen and ink and you draw drapery, you're nuts, man. You gotta be a crazy person. Speaking of drapery. I know Frazetta was a huge fan of Heinrich Kley. I think I said that in the last video, but you can definitely see it. You can definitely see why somebody like Frazetta would be inspired by Heinrich Kley. You can't you can't deny it. You can't deny the greatness that is Heinrich Kley, or was Heinrich Kley. Thank God all these drawings were saved. I know he has like a sketchbook book out there or something like that. I mean, look at that. Look how sketchy that is. Look at that. Look at the hatching and the line work on that. I love these Dover books because they're so beautifully, you know, what's the word I'm trying to think of? You know, I don't know. Anyways, but they just look amazing. I mean, they don't. Man, I mean, they just look unbelievable. Reproduction was the word I'm trying to think of. They're great reproductions of the original drawings. Sorry. I had a brain stutter for a second because I was looking at the art. Man, that's great too. Wow. Such a creative person. Absolutely, just amazing creative person. You have this, and then you have this like contour drawing. He had to have practiced contour drawings. You know, when you start drawing, you don't want to think of the outside of the drawing. You want to think about the forms. You don't want to think about the outside. But he thought sometimes of the outside because he was such a master. I mean, you look at that, that's a form. That's a, I guess you could say like cube-like form. You have the top, you have the bottom, and then you have the side. But when you get drawings like this, there's no thought of that. Or unless there is, and he's just such a master, he doesn't need to think about it that way. He just draws it without even thinking about the forms. I mean, that's an amazing artist, for sure. Wow. This guy had to have inspired so many people, so many artists. Look at that. She's running at him. I mean, there's so much storytelling even in these sketches. The thing about Heinrich Kley is if you want to be an artist, his work is very intimidating. Because you go to the page and you go, oh, why am I not drawing like Heinrich Kley? And the reality of the situation is the reason why Heinrich Kley could draw this well was because he was an absolute master. And you're not going to show his stuff that looked like shit. Why would he? Man, absolutely amazing drawing. I mean, the proportions are all fucked, but it works. There's so much room in that abdomen area, but it works. You know? He didn't feel like finishing that one. Or maybe he just didn't feel like that. He felt like once that line closes, you know she's wearing a dress. That's probably what it is, actually. He lets the viewer finish the drawing for him. Why finish the drawing for the viewer if they can finish it for you? Why waste the time? That just looks like squiggles. But you have these forms. It's like two people laying down. Looks amazing. Look at that. What an interesting drawing. Interesting ideas. I actually think I like this book better than the first one. Drapery on that. Absolutely amazing. Huge fan. Huge fan of Heinrich Kley. Rightfully so. I mean, he deserves it. The amount of work that he had to put in to get to this level. I don't think anybody dedicates themselves to something like this guy did. This guy wanted to be a drawer, for sure. And he became one. Look at that. I like these like simple drawings here. But they work. Look at that. That gesture. He's thinking gesture first. There's so much gesture in his work. I mean, look at that gesture. Look at that. Man. Absolutely amazing. And if you had not heard of Heinrich Kley before this video, which I find it to be difficult not to know about him, but then again I didn't know about him. I found out about him just randomly. You should definitely check out more of his artwork. I'm so happy that I own these books because I can kind of reference these. These are great reference when you're trying to figure out gesture or you're looking for an interesting gesture. You kind of just go to his work and you go, man, that's a really great gesture. I use these books for reference. You know, if I need a special kind of gesture, you know, I own all the books that I own for inspiration, but also for the ability to go back and go, yeah, man, I really want to draw, you know, a figure that's doing that or doing a specific thing. And then I look at Kley and I go, oh, yeah, there's a lot of gesture in that. And then, of course, you have the picture that was on the back, or on the front of the first book. You only get 104 pages in here, but man, there's a lot going on in those 104 pages. So, absolutely mind-blowing. $1.85 when it came out. Don't think it's $1.85 anymore, but man, what a great book. I mean, the dragging, I mean, just going back to that, I mean, there's so much, you know, gesture in him dragging. The movement is just amazing. And that foot is very simple, if you can see. There's not really much going on there anatomically, but it works. So anyways, that's Heinrich Kley.